You've only got 5 minutes and you have to write a sermon. Can you do it? Now hopefully you have more time than that, but just for fun, let's see if we can do it together, so stick around. Hey guys, my name's Curtis Riley from The Real Rileys. Not real like a big deal, but real like we're real people with real problems. And we are one family with multiple channels. We've got a channel on how-tos, on faith, on marriage, on online business. So check them out at therealrileys.com. The purpose of this channel is to focus on real church, real preaching, and real worship. But we also offer coaching, online courses, church consultations, and more. So will you do us a favor and like this video and subscribe to our channel? It helps support us and it helps us to continue to make videos like this. And as our free gift for stopping by, we wanted to give you a free mini course based on our sermon outline guide that'll make sure you never get stuck writing your sermons. Just check the link in the description below or go to therealrileys.com. Now, let's get into it. So let's start the timer. And the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure that you download our free mini course and get the PDF that comes with it, the sermon outline guide. So make sure to grab that and then let's get started. Now, I talk about this more in the Power Preaching Plan course that we offer, but you're going to want to start with the Illumination. Just asking, what does God say about it? So we'll just pick a random topic for today, and something I heard people talking about just this week was worry and anxiety. So if we turn to Philippians 4, verse 6, it says, don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank Him for what He's already done. Now, if we had more than 5 minutes, we'd really study this and digest it and get into it, and I talk about that more in Power Preaching Preparation. But for now, we're just going to take it at face value. Don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about it. So the first step is the introduction. Introducing the topic and who you are. So I might say something like, hey, my name's Curtis from The Real Rileys. And maybe I'd tell a story about how I've wrestled with anxiety myself. In fact, there was one summer that I had anxiety so bad, I ended up going to the ER thinking that I was gonna die, where I could just feel my heart pounding out of my chest and it wouldn't go away. It was probably one of the most stressful times in my life. Number 2 is the inclusion, where we start to talk about how other people have experienced this. So you might talk about how other people have worry, other people have anxiety. In fact, I know a lot of people who can't go to social events, or I've seen people have to leave and go home because of their anxiety because they were worried so much. Number 3 is the Illumination, which we already talked about and read. What does the Bible say? What does God say about it? And He says, don't worry about it. Pray about it. Number 4 is the illustration, where you want to show them what God is saying. Now, I'm literally just thinking on the fly here, and I think about, well, what is that like? And maybe it's like this basketball. If I was to put this basketball on the table, it would probably roll around a little bit and kind of move. And I could be worried about that. I could be like, man, my basketball, it's going to roll and it's going to go everywhere. And maybe my basketball is going to fall off the table. And maybe I could grab it and I could try to control it and I could take it myself. Or I could use this lens cap and I could set this lens cap here and I could say, hey, now I don't have to worry about it. And this lens cap is a lot like prayer. We could say, hey, well, I'm going to give my worries, instead of worrying about what's happening, I'm going to give it to God instead, and I'm going to trust that He has things under control. I'm not saying it's the best illustration, but we've only got 5 minutes. Hey, can I stop you right there? And if you find this video helpful, will you do us a favor and like it and subscribe to our channel? That really helps support us. Step number 5 is the implication. What should they do about it? This one's super easy and practical because it says it right in the verse. Don't worry is 1, so stop worrying. And number 2, what should I do instead? I should pray. Maybe you say, hey, I need to spend some time every day praying, or when I'm starting to worry, I'm going to stop, I'm going to pray, and I'm going to give it to God. And number 6 is the inspiration. Just asking the question, what if they were to actually do this? So you might say something along the lines of, well, you don't have to live with worry and anxiety all the time anymore. In fact, you can give it to God and you might actually be able to find some peace and rest and trust God more than ever. And there you have it, an entire sermon. We introduce ourselves. Hey, I'm Curtis. Here's the problem. I've experienced anxiety for myself. Then we bring other people into it and say, hey, I'm sure you've experienced anxiety. Then we say, here's what God says about it. Well, He says, don't worry, instead pray. Then we show them, just like a basketball, it's going to roll away. Don't worry about that. And then we say, well, how do we apply it to our lives? Well, Don't worry, instead pray, and then we inspire them and say, hey, man, if you did that, imagine how much peace you could have in your life. Now, I'll dig even farther into this and take you into some more detail in the Power Preaching Plan if you want to check that course out. And let's be honest, you're probably never going to have just 5 minutes to work on a sermon, and you need to put more work and more effort into it than 5 minutes. But I wanted to show you the principle and how quickly the process can move along. And the biggest thing is the system that I've been using to organize and plan your sermons. Now it's time to get real. Will you comment below and let us know what's the shortest amount of time that you've had to prepare for a sermon? Or let us know how long it typically takes you to prepare. And if you have more specific questions, check out one of our online communities where you can hang out with like-minded people, you can ask questions, be encouraged, and you'll have a chance for your question to be answered in the next live Q&A. Hey, make sure to be on the lookout for one of our videos where we talk about if you should use a click track for your worship band. Or if you want to branch out a little, check out one of our other channels like How-Tos or Faith. I hope this whole concept was really helpful for you, especially if you have to write a sermon in a hurry. But until next time, keep it real.